WXII 12 News at 6 starts right now.
Hurricane Dorian has its sights set on North Carolina.
No doubt about it, Hurricane Dorian is coming. The storm turning towards the Carolinas, and it could bring strong winds, heavy rain, and flooding with it.
And big waves are crashing against the South Carolina coast as we speak. Our first sign that Dorian is getting closer.
Tonight at 6, full team coverage from North and South Carolina as we watch and wait for Hurricane Dorian. Hurricane Dorian isn't here just yet, but the governor says that the storm has already led to one death in our state.
Yeah, that's right. Governor Roy Cooper says an 85-year-old man from Columbus County died when he fell from a ladder while getting his home ready for the storm. A spokesman for the State Emergency Operations Center says the man died Monday at a hospital in Fayetteville.
The wind is picking up along the North Carolina coast. Right now, we want to show you a live look at Carolina Beach.
Yeah, there the water is getting really choppy. The waves are getting bigger as they crash against that shore, as you can imagine.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Lainey Pope is tracking Hurricane Dorian. Lainey, can you let us know how far away the storm is right now?
Yeah, I can give you some specifics. The eye of the storm right now is east of the Georgia coast. It is approximately 175 miles to the south of Charleston and about 275 miles to the south-southwest of Wilmington. So here's something that's changed with this. It has strengthened with 110-mile-per-hour winds right now. Also, that's change in direction has not happened yet, not anticipating it to happen until tonight, so still going north-northwest at 8 miles an hour. A turn to the north tonight and then to the northeast is expected. Now, something else that's different from the center of the storm, the tropical storm force winds were extending out about 175 miles. They now go out farther at about 195 miles from the center. You can see the rain bands lashing out at Georgia as well as South Carolina right now. A buoy off the coast of Georgia recorded a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust over the last hour. The forecast track has it impacting the South Carolina coast tonight, perhaps making landfall, moving very near, if not over, the South Carolina coast, as well as the North Carolina coast. And that is into Thursday night. And then during the day Friday, tracking out toward the Outer Banks and pulling away from the North Carolina coast. It will pick up speed. It may briefly become, hurricane hunters say, a major hurricane again because of what's happening with the current environment, but that should be short-lived, and then we're expecting it to weaken and pick up speed as it makes that turn. Hurricane warning is still out, of course, for the North Carolina coast. Tropical storm warning along the I-95 corridor. You probably noticed some clouds even in the Triad, and yes, those are some of the high clouds blowing off of the tops of the thunderstorms with Dorian. You've got rain along the coastline from Wilmington up toward New Bern. This Category 2 storm moving north-northwest right now, impacting the South Carolina coast tonight, the North Carolina coast Thursday and Friday. Expecting hurricane conditions for the North Carolina coast. We're expecting limited impacts here in the Triad, but there will be some in the form of rain and wind. Lower impacts expected in the foothills and mountains. I'll be outlining those coming up, so stick around.
Lainey, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Right now, hundreds of people are getting out of Dorian's path.
And rightfully so. Mandatory evacuations already in place in dozens of counties along the coast and the barrier islands. Dorian is expected to hit our coast within the next 36 hours.
Tonight at 6, team coverage from two places that could see a really big impact.
Devontae McKenna live at Nags Head in the Outer Banks, but let's begin first with Kenny Beck, who is in New Hanover County near Wilmington. Spot that could start seeing some choppy waves and even some wind soon. Kenny.
Yeah, Talitha, Brandon, good evening to both of you. Rain mercifully letting up just a little bit right now, but we know this is nothing compared to what we're going to see tomorrow. They are asking emergency responders and emergency management folks here in New Hanover County that everyone be in their safe place by 8 o'clock tonight, whether you're riding it out or whether you've evacuated. And speaking of evacuations, those started pretty bright and early this morning. We haven't seen a whole lot of sun today, but at 8 a.m., folks started getting out of town. And on top of that, police started blocking off the one and only way to get into or out of Wrightsville Beach. That is the drawbridge behind me here. Some folks were not necessarily thrilled with that, but this evacuation was well publicized, and it is very much for their safety. Everything east of this drawbridge over on the Wrightsville Beach proper section of town here is extraordinarily flood prone. A release from the town of Wrightsville Beach said flood insurance rates on that side, on the eastern side of the drawbridge, are outrageously high, and with very good reason. This is a town of only about 2,500. Thankfully, we are on the other side of Memorial Day weekend, so in theory, not that many people to evacuate. Had the opportunity to ask the police chief earlier today how the evacuation had gone so far.
And so far, they've been going very well. First in the morning, we had a little bit of a hiccup, but we kind of smoothed that out, and things are going really well now.
Most people listening?
So far, the really tell is closer to 8 o'clock tonight, when everybody's definitely supposed to be off, and we can go through and look and see what kind of impacts we'll have. Once winds reach tropical storm force winds, we will no longer be responding. So if you do decide to stay or do not heed warnings, and you call for 911, there's nobody that's going to be coming. So
those tropical storm force winds, we were told earlier today by emergency management here in New Hanover County, could begin as early as 8 in the morning on Thursday. The main show, the brunt of Dorian, likely a Category 1, likely to be at its worst tomorrow night between 9 in the evening into the overnight hours. 5 a.m. before then, as Laney mentioned and others have mentioned, heading out into the Atlantic and hopefully being no one else's problem for a long, long time to come. That's what's happening tonight in the Wilmington, Wrightsville Beach area. We'll send it back inside to you.
Kenny Beck live with the update. Thank you very much. Dorian is cutting vacations short along the Outer Banks. Now, local leaders are telling people who live on the barrier islands that staying put would be a dangerous decision.
Things calm right now along the Outer Banks, as you see here.
Sky 12 flew over Nags Head. You can see, looks like a nice but empty day at the beach right now, but things could look a lot different this time tomorrow.
Devontae McKenneth live in Nags Head. Devontae, Dorian could slam this area pretty soon. We just saw a shot of what it looked like earlier today. Have things changed where you are?
Well, you know, Talitha, everything around us appears to be shut down for the most part. It is pretty much, I want to say, a ghost town this afternoon. Both residents and visitors took that mandatory evacuation quite seriously. This is a live look on this Wednesday. Everything appears to be fine. The waves are crashing hard. The water is getting more intense, but still no rain here at Nags Head. But the wind speeds, they are definitely picking up. First responders, too, they're saying that they will continue to provide their services, that is, until conditions put their safety at risk. And this is why a handful of people went ahead and left today. Dare County provided buses that took people from the Outer Banks Visitor Center there in Manio to an emergency shelter at Nash Community College in Rocky Mount. They left a few hours ago, around 2 o'clock this afternoon, and at that point we had about 10 people using those buses. One woman says that she moved here about a month ago and is leaving because she just doesn't know how strong this storm will be.
We don't know if it's going to be bad or not, so it's better to be safe than sorry.
And back out here live again, you can see the waves are getting more and more frequent in number, but we are still seeing some people going into the ocean, even though that no ocean swimming ban is strongly in effect. The county said this morning that if locals do decide to stay on their own, despite that mandatory evacuation, they need to be prepared to stay by themselves for at least 72 hours. And of course, if those high winds and flooding, if they become an issue, the first responders will not be able to go out and assist those who may need help. So something very serious and very important to keep in mind. If you do have family that decided to stay, they need to make sure they are well prepared for at least 72 hours after Dorian hits the region. Back to you guys.
Devontae McKenneth live at Nags Head. Thank you very much. The state's emergency operations center in Raleigh is a busy place right now.
In fact, hundreds of state and federal workers, along with volunteers, keeping a close eye on Hurricane Dorian and making sure that crews are in place to respond fast. Several crews and units are housed inside the center. For example, air operation controls everything that flies. We're talking the team assess damaged levees and even dams out in the area. Also brings in food and water to flood victims and runs rescue missions. In addition to that, several volunteer groups are helping to organize and set up shelters.
Right now, swift water rescue teams are on standby in the eastern part of the state. The Emergency Operations Center sent the team from Greensboro to Washington County, about an hour east of Tarboro. 42 firefighters are assisting emergency crews out there, and if this area sees bad flooding, the team will help with water rescues as well as searches. Hundreds of North Carolina National Guard soldiers are also ready to respond. The state also has 56 high water vehicles, 19 aircraft on standby as well.
Many people living on the coast will wait out the hurricane in shelters.
Yeah, Triad University is opening its doors to UNC Wilmington students who were forced to evacuate only a few weeks after moving in.
Kirsten Gutierrez continues our team coverage from UNC Greensboro.
More than 50 students and staff from UNCW are staying here at the Kaplan Recreation Center, and they're being treated as honorary Spartans.
So anything that they need, we're providing to them, access to the dining hall and to other spaces on campus. We're treating them as our students.
UNCG's new visitors from the coast arrived Tuesday night.
Smooth ride, everything is so well set up, like things are provided beyond anything I could ever have wished for. I slept like a queen last night. It's been so good.
UNCG Emergency Management Director Zach Smith says the university is happy to provide shelter and a safe place for UNCW students.
Most of them are travel abroad students or those that may have family that live an extended distance and it just wasn't feasible for them to go home or seek shelter elsewhere.
Exchange student Linnea Nordquist says she's trying to remain positive and is hoping for the best.
I'm not a worried soul. I try not to think about it. It's like, it's nature's power. There's nothing we can do with it anyway or about it anyway. So I'm just trying to cope with it the best way possible.
This is UNCG's first time sheltering students from the storm, and it won't be their last. Smith says students and staff will be housed here at the Recreation Center for as long as needed. In Greensboro, Kirsten Gutierrez, WXI 12 News.